Not the which means I can't hear your discussion. Well, who are we going to get to do something about it? I mean, the Belgians will help you. Yeah. Okay, fine.
You're still not hearing, David, are you?
So I'm going to have to take your cue, Alan. Could you?
David's not here, no. No.
Yeah. Could you tell me what they're going to say on the way over? What he's going to say on the way over? Because I can't hear it now. Just a few more lines. Sorry, Bobby and Jimmy. The right back is inexperienced. His name's Loma, and he's 20 years old. He's only just established himself in the side. The left back, or he may play left centre midfield. They tend to mix themselves up a bit. Is number 5, Thiessen, who's been very doubtful. He's 30 years old. He's got over 30 caps. He's got cartilage trouble, so they say, and he's had an injection. But they're taking a deliberate gamble. If he breaks down, they've got a setup that operates with Docks dropping back and Vercouteren coming on, who played in the semi-final. So the chap I'm talking about with the injection is number 5, Thiessen. All right, checking level on the main lip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not quite sure whether we went through before, but I was just saying for level purposes and also for Laurie's benefit and Bobby's and Jimmy's, there are 4 Dutchmen in the side. Number 1, Reuter, who's a Dutch under-23 international. He's the goalkeeper. He's 29, though. Never had a full cap. And the other Dutchmen are Hahn, number 8, and Rensenbrink, number 11, the 2 World Cup players, and Ressel, who's number 9, who's a new player they've signed this season. He's 29, but been very effective, apparently. They bought him from Feyenoord this season. So the 4 Dutchmen are the goalkeepers, and number 8, 9, and 11. 1 or 2 young players in the side, again, for your information. Sorry to be repeating myself, but I understand you didn't get the level before. And if you want to take a note of it, number 2, Loma, is only 20, just established himself on the side. They reckon he's a bit of a gamble locally. And number 5, what I'm talking about the back 4, number 5, Thiessen, is 30 years old, but he's had knee trouble, was doubtful to play, but we're told he's had an injection today. It's apparently cartilage trouble, so that's a bit of a gamble. The other young player who's been very impressive, apparently, is number 10, Cook. He's only 20. He's already got 6 caps. And Van der Elst, who's 21.
Mention the Dutch in the injection.
Good evening and welcome on the night of a European football final. The final of the European Cup Winners' Cup in Brussels between West Ham United of England and Anderlecht of Belgium. It's a competition that British teams have won 5 times before. Spurs, Manchester City, Chelsea, Glasgow Rangers and 11 years ago at Wembley, West Ham United, on an emotional night for London's East End. Bobby Moore, Geoff Hurst and Martin Peters were in the side, but it was 2 goals in 2 minutes from Alan Seeley that finally beat Munich 1860.
This is the inside left. Grosser. Sharp enough off the mark. Now it's Boyce. He's got Seeley free on the right. This could be a goal for West Ham. Yes, the goal! Seeley has scored! No, it's not quite in the picture yet. Here he comes. Oh, Boyce to Hurst. And Seeley has made it 2! Seeley has made it 2!
And I was singing it too on that night. And Bobby Moore and the rest have now moved on, but tonight a new generation of players have their chance to get West Ham hands on that trophy again. Can they rise above their astonishingly poor league form, or will it be Anderlecht, in what is virtually a home game for them in Brussels, who win a European trophy for the first time in 16 attempts? Well, with a minute or two to go before we see pictures from Brussels, those are the questions now for Bobby Charlton, who narrowly failed to forecast the winners of our cup final on Saturday, and the man who took great delight in proving him, and most of us too, wrong, Laurie McMenemy, the current king of Southampton and indeed of all Hampshire. Laurie, first of all, as a man who was an underdog, who are the underdogs tonight?
Depends who half of the press have predicted will win, Jimmy, I think, going by my experience. No, I think that West Ham have got to be underdogs tonight because the opposition are playing in their own country. They'll have the majority of the people there shouting for them, and they're not a bad team either.
That home advantage, Bobby, is that very important, would you say?
Well, I think so. When you think in terms of the international players that they've brought in from abroad, they're a much stronger outfit in Belgium now, you know, than they used to be in the past. And I think that the home advantage is a terrific thing. Yeah. You know, you're obligated to your public that are there, you know, your week in and week out supporters, and I think that it's a very, very difficult task for West Ham to fight it, you know.
Yeah. That's something that they have over our clubs. We can't import players as it stands at the moment, but they've got like Rensenbrink and Hahn from Holland's World Cup side. That makes a big difference, you say?
Well, it does, but I still basically think that our football is generally better than theirs. I think they can individually probably match us on occasion, but for 90 minutes play, I would always back a British side, you know, and giving a fair crack of the whip in West Ham, getting a bit of luck and applying themselves properly. I don't see why they can't win. I don't think it's as impossible as you think.
Yeah. Laurie, West Ham, their form, it has been bad in the league. I mean, really unbelievably bad, hasn't it? Now, can they rise above it for a second time? They did in the semi-final.
Yeah, but they've really got to rise above it tonight. But if you had a choice, I think that the team that's winning well in the league is going to carry on to win well in the cup. But they were terrible in the second half of the season in the league. And I don't know, I think the application, as Bobby said, is important. That in a final like this one tonight, it's going to need a bit more than just good play, because I think the opposition are good players. But I was interested to see that Wrexham gave them a very hard game, and probably because they would hustle and bustle them. And I think West Ham have got to be prepared to do that, as well as play the football that they're capable of.
Yeah. Billy Bond was an inspiration to them in the other match, and he's back in the team. That seems to give them that bit of steel. Does he mean that much to him, Bob?
I think so. I think ever since he's been out of the side, they've struggled. And last year, I remember when they were in relegation trouble, you know, it was Billy Bonds that came back against injury that won it for them in the end, I think. But I think also the fact that they're able to relax now at the end of a very hard season, after a lot of criticism from the supporters, etc., right through to the end of the season. This might just relax them enough to perform tonight, you know, and I hope they do.
Do you think that criticism from supporters and from the press and everybody tends to give them the extra edge?
Well, it keeps you on your toes, yeah, I must admit. And I should think after some frustrations throughout the season, they would be delighted to give the supporters something.
Yeah. Not that you've had that much of it in your time, I must confess. Laurie, come on. You did have a bit earlier on, but we've all forgotten that now. What about the forecast now, very quickly?
I think Anderlecht will win. I don't think it'll be easy for them, but I think the things that they've got in their favour, such as the home crowd and the very noisy atmosphere, and I think they're more aggressive, and I think that will just give them the edge. I think they'll win narrowly.
Yeah. Look, Bobby?
Yeah, well, you've got to pick the favourites, but I think if the West Ham defence really gets down to it, you know, and concentrates and gives nothing away, then there's hope for them.
Yeah. Well, whatever the lads say, I know we're all going to be sitting here cheering for West Ham tonight, as most of you are at home. Sure. And so let's go over now to the stadium and join our match commentator, David Coleman.
Good evening from the National Stadium in Brussels, and you join us as the teams meet in the centre of the pitch and salute this crowd of well over 60,000 people. The officials came out with the team, they're French officials, and this the West Ham side. Team manager John Lyle able to name the side that brought West Ham to the final, beating Eintracht Frankfurt in the semi-final. The officials, Robert Wirtz of France, and the two linesmen are both from France as well. An enormous crowd of West Ham supporters followed the team over here. There are at least 8,000 or 9,000. Photographers gathering for the spin of the coin. And because of a colour clash, Anderlecht wearing a changed strip tonight. They normally play in mauve shirts, playing in white shirts with mauve numbers and mauve shorts. The West Ham side confirmed, the team that beat Eintracht Frankfurt in the semi-final. The substitutes are Alan Taylor, who's had an injured knee, but he is fit and well. Bobby Ferguson is the sub-goalkeeper. Kevin Locke, who's had an injured groin, he passed a fitness test as well at the beginning of the week. And finally, wearing number 15, young Alan Kirbishley. Another sub who's not on that caption, by the way, is Johnny Ayres. There are allowed two substitutes in this competition. The Anderlecht side taking a bit of a gamble with number 5, Thiessen, who's got knee trouble, but he's had an injection and will start the match. There are no less than 4 Dutchmen in the side. Number 1, Reuter, number 8, Hahn, and number 11, Rensenbrink, the 2 Dutch World Cup players from Germany in '74. And the other Dutchman is Ressel, number 9, a new signing this season from Feyenoord. Tommy Taylor, playing tonight, his 58th match of the season. Frank Lampard, number 3 in the background. West Ham, who've reached this stage of the competition by winning in Finland, but beating a Finnish side by 5-2 in aggregate. Then Aravan of Russia, 4-2 in aggregate. Den Haag of Holland on away goals after a 5-5 tie. And finally, Eintracht Frankfurt in the semi-final of West Germany. Anderlecht, they've reached the final by Romania, Yugoslavia, Wales. They had a bit of a tough job with Wrexham, but they weren't quite in the form they say they're in now. And finally, East Germany. They beat Sachsenring Zwickau in the semi-final. Number 3, Bruce on the far side. That's the captain, Van Bins, number 4. One or two of the English supporters are very quick to notice we've got a French referee tonight and remark on the fact that Leeds lost in the European Cup final last year to Bayern Munich when a French referee made 1 or 2 controversial decisions. Number 8, Harry Hahn, the Dutch sweeper in the World Cup, who played so well. And so Hahn sets the game alight for Anderlecht, the final of the 1976 European Cup Winners' Cup. Tonight's game will go to extra time in the event of a tie, and then will be decided on penalties if it's still a tie. But Lommer, only 20 years old, just established himself in the side. Gross, or rather Van Bins. Number 8, Hahn. Number 9, Ressel. Ressel again to Van Bins. Jennings was in quickly, but not quickly enough. Hahn. Wide for Rensenbrink. Ressel, who spends most of his time on this right flank, although he wears 9. Free kick. The offender, Robson. A wrestle to take the kick. Bond. Lama should be the goalkeeper. West Ham in a smart new strip tonight, a variation on their normal colour, the normal strip, but with the same colours, claret and blue. Lampard, Jennings. Lampard. Ball won by Gross. Number 8, Hahn. Number 10, Brooking, didn't quite get it. It was Cook who got it away. And the whistle's gone for a foul by Brooking. The Belgian captain, Van Bint. He used to play up front, but he was brought back for the semi-final because of injuries to play as a back four-man, and he's been very effective, apparently. In the way there was Robson, and was fouled by Van der Elst. Brooking. Bonds through to number 9, Jennings. Ball hooked on by Holland for McDowell. West Ham throw. McDowell anxiously signalling. Was won by Van Bint. Brooking. Too many defenders, with 3 of them there to block that. Patton. Ressa. Number 8, Hahn. Good ball. Cook. Taylor quickly to the rescue. The ball firm enough to the goalkeeper. McDowell. Fullback Keith Coleman outside on the touchline, but found Holland first. It was Hahn, a good ball, and blocked by Bond. Taylor. Bond is just checking on the forward players. They're all marked up. Good run by Patton, who got loose. Robson almost got a foot there, but it was the defender, Brost, who turned it back. A wrestle. Hahn gave Wrestle far too much to do. Lampard for West Ham. Bond. Brooking. Number 6, McDowell. Into trouble. McDowell. He's got the corner. First corner of the match for West Ham. Graham Patton to take it. Short to Brooking. Nobody found Brooking at all. And another corner. Again short. Reuters' first touch. Looked very confident. Renton breaks. Foul by Coleman. Both these sides, by the way, playing in their second European finals. West Ham won this trophy back in '65. Anderlecht lost in the first cup final to Arsenal in 1970. Another free kick against West Ham. The veteran Dox passing the ball back. Thiessen. Aimed at Rensenbrink, right through. Bonds looking for number 11, Robson. That's Lampard. Billy Jennings. Robson to Jennings, well played. Robson, it's all getting a bit tight. Free kick. Referee very quick with a whistle. Number 3, Frank Lampard. Robson. Flicked away by number 5, McDowell. Patton. Taylor. No, offside, late flag. The linesman thought about that and then raised the flag. Anderlecht, very experienced in Europe. This is their 16th campaign in European competition. Ian Reuter, Dutch under-23 international, but now 29, still looking for his first senior cap. Bonds misjudged that and was penalised. Harry Hahn, a chat with the referee. I've got a selection here. They've got Cook just off the ball. They've got number 11, Rensenbrink there. That's Cook. Taylor, number 4, Bond. To Taylor. Patton to Bond. Lampard. Anderlecht, of course, playing in their home city. This isn't their home ground. Anderlecht's ground is on the other side of the city. It's pure coincidence the final was here, by the way. It was chosen before this season. Competition started in Brussels. It's much the same as when West Ham won at Wembley. They had home advantage in their final match. Although, as in this case, that was pure accident. All these grounds for finals selected before the competition starts, regardless of the nationality of the finalists. Trevor Brooking. West Ham's third corner already. Jennings almost got there. He came right in and wasn't picked up. And fouled the goalkeeper. Well, interesting then, Jennings made a run then right across the defence and no one went with him at all. That's Lampard. Jennings. Robson. Patton, number 8. Lampard's in support, but it's Robson giving the fullback. They're giving Patton too much to do, and the fullback an invitation to clear. Number 9, Ressel. We left one too easily. And Day scooped down there, right off the oncoming forward toe. It was Hahn who came forward, and Day's arms just long enough, with West Ham really stretched. Lampard. Bonds then dived in when he hadn't really got much hope. West Ham were a little bit exposed in defence. Ten minutes gone in this European Cup Winners' Cup final. Anderlecht 0, West Ham United 0. Billy Bonds. Jennings. Coleman. Bruce, high, Heaton. Number 6, Docks. Anderlecht ball. Thiessen. Docks. Bruce. Lommer, the young right back. Rest. Lommer. Cut out by Patton. Brookie. Well, the Anderlecht crowd booing. They thought that was a fair tackle by Cook. Referee was close to the action again. Trevor Brooking. And the current England squad for the home internationals and the American trip. And Cook, who made the tackle there, claiming that he's hurt as well. The referee obviously doesn't want to bring on the trainer, but has settled for the fact he's got to, and that gives me the chance to bring in Dave Sexton, the Queen's Park Rangers manager. David is here doing some homework for Europe next year. Queen's Park Rangers having just lost the title to Liverpool last night, finishing in second place. David.
Thank you very much, David. Well, West Ham are doing well at the moment. They've got their sums worked out, and Anderlecht aren't playing with a centre forward. They've got four fellas in midfield, and I'm pleased to see Billy Bonds moving forward from the centre-back down into midfield to get tight, and also joining in the attack. So they're looking very positive at the moment.
David Sexton, and Cook is still in trouble. The referee's doubts obviously were unjustified. He's the 20-year-old who's made such an impact on Belgian football. Already played in 6 full international matches. So West Ham waiting to take the kick. Lampard. West Ham's league form really has been quite appalling in the latter part of the season. They haven't won in their last 18 games. But very much two sides to this team, because their form in Europe has been very good indeed. Very good performance beat Eintracht Frankfurt that did in the semi-final in the middle of a really bad home match program. Docks. Aimed at Van der Elf. Taylor to box. Sort of marking up in front. Docks, and it was blocked by number 10, Brookie. Docks again, number 6. John McDowell's throw. Tommy Taylor. Jennings, number 9. Lommer. John Lyle, the West Ham manager, was talking to me earlier this evening. He said this was sure to be an exciting match, he thought. Both sides like to attack. His feeling of the good back header. Just skimming the back of Hollinshead or Billy Jennings, who were there together. He was stressing that both these sides like to attack, and that's reflected really in the goals they've scored in the matches. In the 4 rounds that Anderlecht have played, they've scored 12 against 3, while West Ham in the 4 rounds they've played have scored 18 against 12. Ressel's throw. Half. Ressel. Free Lampard. Right through Van der Elf's legs. And Patton completes the job. Holland. Coleman. Jennings. Just got a touch and Holland couldn't make it. Just over 15 minutes gone and no score in this European Cup Winners' Cup final. Thiessen throw. Brentford. Checking back onto that favourite left foot. He was almost caught by Brooking. Approach. Hans Kroon, with the spectacles, the trainer of this Anderlecht side. Pushing. Hahn's kick. Now Cook. Hahn again. Cook still hobbling. Mandels wasn't quick enough. Jennings. Robson breaking. Too far. Van Vent. Oh, he didn't get there, but he got the player. No, throw given. Lama's throw. Dressel, Lama. Van Binst. Only found Barnes. It was a careless clearance. Space for the shot and blocked by number 3, Bruce. McDowell. Robson. Brooking. Hit the bar. The goalkeeper never touched it. Brooking again. And West Ham looking really promising now. Lampard. Robson. Finally, Hahn gets it away to Dock. That was really good play by West Ham, and Brooking so unlucky. Now Van der Elst for Anderlecht. Ressel loose on the right, number 9. Rensenbrink couldn't get there. This is Dock. Hahn. Hahn gets the second chance. Number 10, Cook. Van der Elst and cut out by Taylor. Brooking to Pat. Trying to let Billy Jennings loose. That's a beautiful ball by Pat. But Jennings has no support yet. Patsy Holland. All beat by Van Vent. Certainly so far, West Ham very much the balance of the attacking play. Hahn. Ressel, or rather Rensenbrink, who switched wings. Hahn on a run. Got behind the defender. The final ball just a bit too long. This match now beginning to live. Rather tentative start by both sides. But now they're settling down. Pass for West Ham. Holland. Number 6, McDowell. 3 is Lampard. Almost caught the goalkeeper, who was looking to see if he'd cross it, but dropped it down very well. Taylor. Bonds, number 4, leaving it for Day. And incidentally, Cook, the number 10 who was hurt when he tackled Brooking, is now lying on the touchline receiving treatment. Taylor for West Ham. Holland's waving, he's unmarked on the right but not been seen. Lama. Hahn. Pretty versatile player. This is the Dutch sweeper, remember, in the World Cup. Now playing in midfield as a kind of a pack support player. And he's got a lot of useful goals. That's Cook. Left ankle strap. Hans Kroon, the Anderlecht trainer, obviously not anxious to make a substitution so early. Hahn. Thiessen. Hahn again. Van Vent. Hahn. Van Vent, and the crowd don't like this very much, but really they're down to 10 men. Bruce. Dock. Ressel, and finally Coleman there. Bond for West Ham. And Cook trying to get it back on the field. Referee still hasn't seen him, but he's on. Robson. Lampard. Good ball to Jennings. Robson. Jennings. Throw goes to Anderlecht. To be taken from the right place. Michael Lommer. Well, goalkeeper's got to have a bit of luck, and Reuter certainly had his luck then when Brookie hit the bar, because he didn't get a touch. Tommy Taylor couldn't go in for that against Rensenbrink. Taylor, Rensenbrink, and cleared by Lampard, who got there quickly enough. That's Holland for West Ham. McDowell. Jennings. Bruce. Number 2, Keith Coleman. Taylor. Robson. Frank Lampard. The marking's very tight up front. Bonds to Holland. Rensenbrink, and Holland held him. Robbie Rensenbrink, leading scorer for Anderlecht this year with 22 league goals. And Pat Holland being spoken to by the referee. Three of the big centre-back, Bruce, for his fellow centre-back and captain Van Binst. It's McDowell. Holland. Number 3, Bruce. Docks clashing with McDowell. Docks. Hahn. Hahn's the man they seem to be finding all the time in the middle of the field. Now Cook. Teeth. Cook obviously isn't happy, although that foot's heavily strapped. Hahn. And Binst to number 9, Ressel. Rensenbrink. Coleman. McDowell. Jennings quick to turn, but he wasn't quite able to get through. Van Binst. Bruce. Number 10, Cook. Van Binst. Beaten by Lampard. Bond. Robson. Coleman. McDowell. Number 8, Patton. Robson. Bonds. Lampard. Anderlecht with all their players between ball and goal. Jennings couldn't quite lay it off well enough. Lama so cool under pressure, only 20, and just in the side, and really started like a veteran. Docks. Rensenbrink. It was really meant for Ressel on this side. "25 minutes gone in this European Cup Winners' Cup final. Anderlecht to Belgium 0, West Ham United 0. Coleman. McDowell, good ball. Jennings. Word from Dave Sexton. West Ham looking promising, David.
Yes, I think they're doing very well indeed. Anderlecht are just sort of counter-attacking and counter-punching, so they put the onus on West Ham to do the attacking. West Ham have got more men up, so it's a little bit harder for them to find space. but they're really working hard to find the space and doing it well. Little Billy Jennings is moving well, and it's looking very promising. I like their positive attitude.
Turned in by Rensenbrink, that's Docks. Cook. Number 8, Hahn. Van der Elst. Cook. Thiessen linking. Cook available. Cook is still in trouble on that leg. Bruce to Van Bint. Vassell to number 2, Lommer. Hahn. Vassell putting up on a run, but the final ball not good enough. Apology from Harry Hahn. Frank Lampard asking for width. The player he was talking to was Robson. That's Robson. Pat. Robson. Pat. Bond. Brooking. Jennings. That was awkward, actually. A piece of very quick thinking by Jennings. He looked for the back header and got it. Hovered under the bar. Another corner to West Ham, their 4th. Play for Keith Coleman, who came up late. Haddon. Bonds. Yes, Holland, 1-0. Haddon crossed it. Bonds got the header, and Holland picked it up, and no one got near him. 1-0 after 28 minutes to West Ham. Haddon's favourite left foot cross. Bonds touched it then, was good enough in the air. Holland coming from nowhere at all. First to the ball. 1-0 after 28 minutes to West Ham United. What they've been threatening to do. And Holland, the scorer at number 7. Thiessen now for Anderlecht. Was Docks to number 10, Cook. Thiessen. Cook. Number 3, Bruce. Cleared by Coleman. And Anderlecht have got a substitute warming up. Hans Kroon, their trainers, obviously decided that Cook can't stay out there. But it should be stressed, if you've just come in, it was an injury inflicted by himself and a tackle with Brooking for which he was penalised. Now Holland for West Ham. Ball was out. That's Thiessen. Bruce. The voices all around the ground now are Cockney voices. That's a bad ball, and Jennings couldn't punish him for it. He was almost there, and it's a measure of how unsettled Anderlecht are that they hadn't seen him, and they almost presented him with a goal. Jennings' reaction was quick, and he just didn't quite make it. Bruce's kick. Rensenbrink. Docks. Hahn. Vassell. Trying to find Van der Elst. It's Robson helping. Tommy Taylor. The crowd behind the West Ham goal, where most of the 8,000 West Ham supporters are, in full voice. Billy Bond. Attacking the defence, they're funneling back. McDowell. Tommy Taylor. And a substitution will be made in a moment for Coteran, who's coming on, who's an experienced player, only a young player, but he played in the semi-final against Saxonry. Midfield player, but also supports the attack well. Tim, for Coteran, did some useful shooting in that semi-final. But to lose young Cook, who's been one of the best players this season, a real blow to Anderlecht. Holland, McDowell. Brooking, just couldn't direct it. Bessel. But Coteran still anxious to get on, but Brooking for West Ham. Holland. Jennings, good jump. Billy Jennings isn't very big, but my word, he climbs. Hahn. Whistle's gone, Holland penalised. And the substitution about to be made. Cook leaves this European final. And for Coteran, wearing number 15, takes over. One of the many promising youngsters in the Anderlecht squad. Van Vince, the captain. Bonds for Coteran, straight in the game. Rensenbrink, Van der Elst, Hahn, Ressel. Well played, left Lampard, and Bonds locked it. He beat Lampard then ominously easily. Hahn. Lampard. Jennings. Ball wasn't good enough to Brooking. Docks to number 3, Bruce, and now to number 4, Van Vince. Docks. Well robbed. Loma. Ressel. Beaten by Lampard. Loma. Docks, number 6. For Coteran. Lampard. Anderlecht beginning to look more urgent. Hahn. Rensenbrink wandering off the left touchline. Ressel. Corner. Very noticeable increase in Anderlecht's pace since they conceded the goal. Right through the lot and hooked clear by McDowell. Van Vince. Thiessen. Rensenbrink. Docks for Coteran. Rensenbrink trying to probe a shooting position. Docks. For Coteran, looking for a 1-2, and finally to Lampard. And suddenly Anderlecht are beginning to play. 35 minutes gone, Anderlecht 0, West Ham United 1. The scorer for West Ham, Pat Holland. Taylor, McDowell. Taylor again. Aimed at Keith Coleman. McDowell. Worth trying. Anderlecht certainly looking as if they realise they've got to go about their business. We're playing it in typical continental style to some extent early on. Cool, slow, looking for the quick break. It wasn't coming, they conceded the goal, and suddenly they looked so much more urgent. The foul on McDowell. That's for Brooking. Holland left it, and Jennings was there. The dummy worked, but Jennings couldn't apply what mattered most, the finish. Brooking's break on the right from the free kick. The cross through Holland, that's a bad kick. Patton. Patton tried to chip one then, but Anderlecht a little bit rattled there, and Hans Kroon, their trainer, knows it. Promising move that by West Ham when Billy Jennings just failed to score. Taylor, where it started from so often already. Bond. Coleman. Found Brooking well. To Pat, number 8. Lampard. Van der Elf. Ressel. Rensenbrink. Ressel, good return ball. Taylor, Bonds and Day. Taylor to Bonds. Offside against Jennings. Bonds getting through a lot of running from defensive positions. The marking's tight up front, but Bonds is attacking the defence, trying to bring a player out to it. Hahn to Vercouteren. Rensenbrink. Nice play by the Dutch international on his favourite left foot. Dobbs. Field for a penalty, not given. Referee just not interested. It was Holland. Foul. No, play waved on. Pat. McDowell. Number 11, Robson. McDowell. Bonds. Brooking. Van Vince. Harry Hahn got through an awful lot of work already, this Dutch international. A Patton. And Jennings just offside. 5 minutes to go to half-time. West Ham United lead Anderlecht by 1-0. Anderlecht supporters have been a little muted, beginning to come to life. Lommer. Hahn. Good run by Ressel. Important tackle for Bonds to make. Hahn again. Bonds again. Another corner to Anderlecht. They're pushing the big man from the back forward. Ressel. Hahn. Misunderstanding between the two of them. And a free kick to Anderlecht. West Ham now with all 11 players back in the penalty area, apart from the two who are just in front of the man taking the free kick, who's Ressel. Bruce, the fullback, had come up, the centre-back rather, had come from a deep position. Obviously a planned move, the ball chipped to the post, and Bruce arrived very late on the scene. Docks. Bakoto. Bruce. Docks. That's Lampard. Oh dear, Ressel! Number 11, Rensenbrink. Bond's just got a touch, and it's one. Frank Lampard walks away as Anderlecht celebrate a really gift goal. Lampard, well, he didn't hit him back properly at all. Ressel was there. Bond just got a toe to put Rensenbrink off the first time, but the second time he made absolutely no mistake. 2 minutes from half-time, and it's 1-each. McDowell for West Ham. Bond. Holland. Poor Lampard walked away by himself then. He turned his back on the celebration, and he looked really the loneliest man on the ground. Not even one of the West Ham players spoke to him first, but I'm sure now the encouragement's going back and forth. Sad, sad moment. Mauve and White at Anderlecht comes out. Docks. Ressel, now Lampard. McDowell. Picked by McCudden, now Hahn. Lampard again. Robson. Corner. Trevor Brooking. Anderlecht turn to pull players back. They've only left one outside the penalty area. Played to Lampard. To Brooking, who's yards offside. Bad time to concede a goal just before half-time. Anderlecht must have been feeling they've got problems with West Ham, who've really done most of the attacking and had the chances. But now Anderlecht very much back in the game. Lampard. Coleman. Robson. McDowell. Gave Robson too much to do. Van der Elst only finds Bond. Lampard calling to Brooking. And Lampard's got a problem. Number 5, Taylor. Switch play well. Holland. McDowell. Brooking calling, number 10. Half-time and the side's going level. Roars of applause around the ground, but especially from the Anderlecht end, just the encouragement they needed. So at half-time, the West Ham had led by 1-0 through Holland after 28 minutes. At half-time, Anderlecht going level, with that goal scored after 43 minutes by Rensenbrink. Lampard limping, got a problem, but that presumably will be sorted out in the dressing room. So at half-time, West Ham 1, Anderlecht 1.
hopeful. Just keep conducting them, and they'll keep playing. Yeah. Well, welcome back, and I think we've got time for a brief look at that first half. First of all, Laurie, what did you think of it?
Well, I thought Anderlecht were terrible. I thought they'd be more aggressive. They were timid as anything. They were playing as if it was a practice game. And they didn't get the ball forward early enough. They only had 2 front runners up, as Dave Sexton said. And they've got to feed the ball earlier for people like that. The number 9, I think, is a fair player. In fact, he made the goal, didn't he? He cashed in on a mistake. But they should have been losing 3-0. Really on chances.
Can you understand that attitude? I mean, one of our teams couldn't have done that.
I can't understand that at home. I mean, all the advantages which I spoke about beforehand, I can't even hear the supporters. No. Just near the end, they had a little shout. But now, of course, they're right back in the game, and they're probably, even the supporters have got a grip on themselves second half. All you could hear was West Ham people.
Right. We've heard about Anderlecht. Bobby, on West Ham.
Well, West Ham have done everything right. I think they've been fortunate in as much as the back people have had more time than they used to. Tommy Taylor and Billy Bonds at the back have had loads of time to be able to push forward. But it was only going to be a mistake that was going to bring them back in the game. You know, when Laurie's just mentioned about supporters, how can supporters sit there and not say anything?
But now we've got that mistake, Bob.
I know, it's unfortunate. You know, he's a left-footed player, Frank Lampard. I'm a bit surprised that he tried it, actually. Just knocked the ball back to the goalkeeper.
I think the keeper could have attacked the ball a bit more, mate, to be fair. The fullback made a mistake, but even here, I think the lad could, if he attacked the ball now, narrows the angle. I know it's easy for us sitting here, but...
There's nowhere keeping it out of the net here. Well, there it is, 1-1, but looking forward, do you see that's going to throw West Ham, or might it wake Anderlecht up?
It's got to, hasn't it? I mean, I saw the manager, he was shouting and screaming, well, he's got to have a go at them at half-time. It looked as though they were playing for extra time, really. If they go to extra time, you know, they might have the edge there. But they've got to have more of a go, and they've got to sort of get to the ball quicker. They're getting behind the ball, but they're laying off West Ham. Any one of 2 or 3 players could have scored the West Ham goal. There was that many of them up there. I
was particularly pleased it was Patsy Holland, because the West Ham crowd haven't always appreciated, I think, his qualities, and it was lovely to see him running on the end of the
He's busy,
Bond header.
Very busy lad.
Graham Patton's on it now.
Well, look how many, there's 3 West Ham players there, not one white shirt. So he's got time to knock it over. And even here, watch, there's a fella goes up, that's Bonds.
Billy Bonds.
Brookins is behind. Now he nips in there, he's very sharp. And he takes it well, Bobby said before, he kept it down well, didn't he? Yeah, good goal.
And the Lionheart Billy Bonds winning the header that counted.
Well, he's Bobby's pal.
Well, I think he's terrific, and he's made the difference for them. He's kept coming from the back, and he's looked aggressive, even coming into the 18-yard box for that situation there, you know, has made the goal.
See, Dave Sexton made a good point, didn't he, about the back 4 not waiting just to mark 2 men. That often happens in England, and well, as soon as they've only got 2 men, if one of them pushes up and leaves 3 to mark 2, and that suits Billy Bonds, because essentially he's a midfield player, isn't he?
Yeah, we were a bit worried about their number 9 wrestle. He looked a little dangerous when he got pace there. He went past Frank Lampard once. Will you see him being a threat?
I think the other fella's a better player, Rensenbrink, because he had one good effort, didn't he, when he got in the box and he sent people the wrong way and he pulled it back. Maybe he's did a bit too much. But the other fella's the workhorse, he's going to chase everything. Yeah,
but they're not consistent with their effort, you know, it just comes in little bursts, you know, and our public wouldn't stand for it. You know, they would expect to see a little bit more effort, certainly from the middle of the field and the forward players, but they haven't got it. And it was only a mistake, like Frank Lampard made, that was going to get them back into the game. But looking at the second half, you know, because they've got that goal just before half-time, I wouldn't say that it would have a necessarily good effect as far as Anderlecht are concerned. It might have the opposite. They might think, right, well, we've arrested the little lapse that we've made, you know, maybe we're all right for a bit now, and West Ham will get the chance to come again. Because the thing that I've noticed, after years and years of playing against foreign opposition, you know, they won't change their way of playing, and they didn't change their way of playing even when they went a goal behind. You know, West Ham came and, like Laurie said, could have got to another 2 or 3 goals.
I thought the substitute made a bit of a difference. I mean, they kept that fella on for 20 minutes limping round. And he never went over the halfway line, but the sub did.
Right. Well, mistakes all round, but 1-1, still plenty to play for.
As long as there's only one mistake, that's all.
We don't want any more mistakes from West Ham. And incidentally, the West Ham players you can see coming out, and it gives us an opportunity now to go back for the second half and join David Coleman again in Brussels.
Welcome back to the news that Alan Taylor now is on the field as West Ham substitute. We're just checking around to see who's off. It rather looks as if Frank Lampard may be missing. Interesting now to see what the tactics will be. Taylor being welcomed by his teammates. But what sort of formation will West Ham produce now? Alan Taylor's got so many vital goals over the past 2 seasons for West Ham, including the 2, of course, that beat Fulham in the final and put West Ham into this competition 12 months ago. Actually, West Ham are lining up with McDowell at left back. So poor Frank Lampard doesn't get the chance to rescue his mistake. McDowell now to Coleman. Jennings, Coleman. Number 12, Taylor. Holland. Barnes. Taylor, who was so disappointing when he was left out of the side. He's had a knee injury, but passed a fitness test on Monday. Taylor. Good dummy. And a good cross, docked it away for a corner. Taylor's sheer speed caused problems then. Very confident boy. He's come straight into this match. Hasn't touched the ball at all, obviously, before. And straight away, started as if he'd been on the pitch all the time. Patton's corner. Coleman's come up short and unnoticed. Actually, he confused Patton, I think. Long and deep to Barnes, who's above the rest. Free kick. Foul given. Taylor penalised. Docks, number 6, the veteran in the side. Defended against. Docks with the ball, who's 34. Rensenbrink. And Coleman made contact. McCothran to Docks. Rensenbrink. Pat Holland in. Patton. Jennings. Brooking. Good ball. Van Dale's 1-0. 2-1 there. Van Dale's got it. Fine move between Rensenbrink and Van der Elst, and West Ham pulled apart. That was Rensenbrink's ball. Van der Elst had stolen up for the back, and when he got the shooting opportunity, he really put it away. Got the space as he turned Taylor, and Mervyn Day couldn't get there. So Anderlecht 2. West Ham United 1. For just about 2 minutes of the second half. Coleman for West Ham. Holland. Brooking, foul by Docks. So really, Anderlecht have scored 2 goals in 4 minutes, 2 minutes from half-time, and that's so soon after the restart. Keith Robson. Incidentally, the goal scorer, Van der Elst, in contrast with our rules at home, at the moment he is suspended for 4 weeks in domestic competition, but in Belgium, as in so many European countries, that doesn't apply to the European competition. In the English Football League, a suspension goes right through the next series of matches, however many the players suspended for, be they European or domestic. Taylor. Coleman. Jennings did well to retain it. Holland, Taylor. Docks his tackle, and a good one. A lot more belief now about Anderlecht. Vercouteren. Van Bint. Looking for the quick break. Van der Elst again. This is the little man who took that second goal so well. Only 21. A youth star. He's played in 18 youth internationals and just become a full international. Coleman for West Ham. Certainly a totally different atmosphere on the ground. Hahn beating Holland. McDowell's throw. Bond. Taylor. Number 2, Coleman. Surely the goalkeepers. Hahn to number 2, Lummer. Van der Elst. Hahn. Docks. Van der Elst. Hahn. Brooking's throw. Jennings leaving for Brooking. Or rather, it was Patton leaving it. Billy Bond. Taylor. Brooking. Again, too near the goalkeeper. Fouled by Robson. The atmosphere becoming increasingly hostile. And Keith Robson's name goes in the book. Bond. Coleman. Docks. Rensenbrink. A roar every time he touches the ball. Good play by Taylor. Number 9, Jennings. Taylor. 2 West Ham Taylors, a Tommy Taylor number 5, Alan Taylor number 12. That's Tommy Taylor, Alan in the background with the fair hair. Bond for West Ham. Hoyt, Patton. Hahn. Van der Elst, beat by Bond. Patton. Good play to free himself and a good final ball. Brooking. Patton again. Fair tackle now, Van Bint. Wrestle to Docks. Van Bint. Switching play to Rensenbrink. What a difference there is now in the attitude of this Anderlecht side. Bonds. Hahn. Vercouteren. Thiessen. Hahn. Hahn is making himself available, finding space, often coming deep to do it. But he's been a major influence in the middle of the field. Vercouteren apologising. Pat Holland's throw. Jennings. Taylor to Brooking. Good tackle by Van Bint. Bonds to Patton. McDowell. Tommy Taylor, number 5. Holland. Bonds. Holland. Taylor breaking right, number 12. Ten minutes gone in the second half. West Ham United 1, Anderlecht 2. Holland to Taylor. Foul. Thiessen now booked for that foul on Taylor. Thiessen, the big number 5. Fascinating to know what the referee's saying. He's obviously deep in conversation with Trevor Brooking. That's Tommy Taylor, number 5. Good header. And Taylor poaching, as he does so often. Taylor so alert in the box. Graham Patton's corner. Pumped along for Bonds, who's there. That was Van Bint. And finally, Taylor, what a save! Taylor thumps the ground in sheer frustration, and no wonder. Holland's patch was unnecessary. They all know how well he did. He really tanked that ball, and it was right up in the top corner too. So often you see those shots wasted from the edge of the box. They don't test the goalkeeper, but that brought out the very best in Reuter. Bonds won it in the air, knocked away by the captain, and fired back by Tommy Taylor, and he was right in the top corner too. The goalkeeper really plucked it out. And with the injured player being attended to, here once more, Dave Sexton of Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, that second goal was a real body blow for West Ham. But the nice thing is that the really aggressive substitution by John Lyle at half-time, bringing on Alan Taylor, now that they are behind, will stand them in good stead. They've got the shape to get back, and the way they're looking, a little bit of luck and they'll be level again.
Another corner then to West Ham. Bonds once more. McDowell beaten, there's problems here. Van der Elf, you've got a player on the other side he never saw. Rensenbrink. Going it alone, and robbed finally by Holland. And Ressel, the player who was loose on the other side, turns away in anger. Alan Taylor now for West Ham. And really a tremendous match developing. Robson, and cleared by Bruce. Free kick given. And we got Van Bint now, the captain, hobbling. That was a really vital save by Jan Reuter, this Dutch goalkeeper, one of 4 Dutch players in this Belgian side. Taylor. And again. Rensenbrink. Ressel. Hahn. Ressel again. For Coutran. Well, and a foul on Rensenbrink. It's really lively and speedy, number 11, causing West Ham trouble every time he's got the ball. Harry Hahn placing it. So we got the 2 Dutch World Cup players together there, number 8 Hahn and number 11 Rensenbrink. Hahn with a long run, but Rensenbrink took it. Slommer. Bond. Brooking for West Ham. Beaten by Dock. So powerful. And that's Patton in trouble. Dock's a veteran of 34. He's played 30-odd times for the international side. Fills in the back four, but he's a very powerful midfield player as well. To Krota, the young substitute, he's only 19, and the defender getting ready to come on. Hahn, beating Bond. Good shot by Rensenbrink, just wide. He really let that left foot go again, Rensenbrink. Only just wide. Taylor for West Ham. McDowell. And Anderlecht, after that slow start, have really clicked into top gear now. Pat, West Ham also contributing a lot to the football. Brooking. Thiessen. Rensenbrink. Vercouteren to Hahn. Vercouteren. Now Taylor just couldn't get there. Hahn to number 5, Thiessen. Inevitably aimed at Hahn again, out of play. Keith Robson. Hahn for Anderlecht. Ressel. Number 11, the inevitable Rensenbrink for Vercouteren. Rensenbrink there is really beginning to trouble this West Ham defence. He's looking sharper and livelier and faster all the time. Just sown the seeds of doubt. Rose beaten by Robson. Bond. Taylor. Robson free. Time to cross it. Brooking blocked. Hahn. Whistle's gone. West Ham, one of 4 English clubs to win this trophy. West Ham won it back in 65. Before that, Spurs won it in 63. Manchester City won it in 1970, and Chelsea in 71. One, of course, they were managed by the man sitting beside me, the current Queen's Park Rangers manager, David Sexton. Bonds now for West Ham. Jennings. Bond. But he found Van der Elf. Bonds again. What a tremendous example of spirit and fight Bonds is. Pat Holland. Taylor, who came away from the defence, got Tommy Taylor outside. Van Vinst obviously recovered from his injury. Coleman. Ressel. Van der Elst. Hahn. Van der Elst so quick down that wing, and he got there. That could have been the goal that put it beyond West Ham's reach, but it just caught the side netting. And Van der Elst, coming into this match more and more after a quiet first half, that goal 2 minutes after half-time seems to have set him alight, and he's looking more and more dangerous. Pat Holland. Jennings. Patton. McDowell, number 6. Played off by Robson to McDowell. It's pushed too far, is it? And the flag's up. Jennings offside. A lot of whistling round the ground, but the linesman was very much in line. It didn't look offside. Of course, apart from the English winners of the FA Cup, this Cup Winners' Cup rather, Spurs, West Ham, Manchester City and Chelsea. Rangers for Scotland went on to win it in 72. We've had 1 or 2 clubs who've also reached the final and been beaten. Now Brooking. Neither Taylor or Jennings could quite get there, but the defender did. A corner. Graham Patton once more. Coleman's come short, number 2. And the Anderlecht substitute who's warming up, young De Krote, now back on the bench. And they're obviously worried about the captain, the centre-back Van Vinst. He seems to be all right now. Holland to Taylor. Bonds is square, but he's selected Patton. Robson. Patton. Brooking. Space for the shot. And Thiessen closed it. Lama. Bonds again for West Ham. Patton again. Robson, good ball to Brooking. Jennings couldn't get there. Thiessen did. Robson. McDowell. Brooking. And it's lanced in. It's there. Beautiful goal by Robson. Trevor Brooking put it to the near post and Robson got to it. Halfway through the second half, and what a match this is developing into. Tremendous move by West Ham, so quickly executed. Brooking's ball there didn't seem to spell danger, but Robson was on his knees to head it in. And the glance was just enough to beat the lot and put West Ham back in this game. 2-2. About 23 minutes of this second half gone, so there's still a long way to go. And don't forget, if the score's level at full time, it goes to an extra half hour, and then the match could be decided on penalties. Tommy Taylor's crossfield ball. Real injection, that, for West Ham. McDowell. Rose settling on the goalkeeper. Coleman. Artesian. Taylor's speed on this right side could trouble this fullback, the big Thiessen. This is the man who's had an injection because of knee damage. Taylor. For Coteran. Number 11, Rensenbrink. Oh, brilliant piece of skill. Ressel. Goal kick, is it? No, the referee's seen the point, but he's let play go on. Squeeze the ball back too. Hahn. For Coteran, a tremendous shot with his better side, his left side, and well saved by Day. Well, this match may have had its quieter notes, especially in the early part of the first half, but Bond. It's cut out by Coteran. Now Rensenbrink. Van der Elst again. Patton calming it down. Bond. Holland. McDowell. Bonds again. Docks and Bonds. Rock. Brooking. Cross too long. The atmosphere now really is electric. Bond. Coleman. Taylor. Van der Elst throw. Harry Hahn. Ressel. Oh, unlucky. Taylor slipped. And it's through the lot. He tried to make it better, and rightly so to Rensenbrink. And West Ham got away with that. Rensenbrink. Penalty is given. Harry Hahn in the foreground, as Taylor and Day pretend, but the decision given, and Holland was the offender. Well, there'll be a few arguments about that. West Ham seems to have got away from the problem. Rensenbrink turns back in there. And that's the offence, and here now the penalty. Rensenbrink, number 11. Dave Sexton sitting next to me. What about the penalty?
Well, technically speaking, it was a penalty, I think, but Rensenbrink's legs were played instead of the ball, but it was rather harsh because there wasn't any intention of playing the man. I think the fullback was trying to get the ball, so it's unlucky for West Ham, but they're still in with a good chance because they were controlling the game up to that point.
So West Ham with it all to do again. 28 minutes of that second half gone. 17 minutes left. 3-2 down. Robson for West Ham. Blommer. Hahn. Ressel. Taylor beat him. Pat Holland. Number 9, Jennings. Patton, number 8. Robson. Patton again. Whistle's gone. Oh, and Robson then off the picture, got involved with one of the Anderlecht players. And it's Hahn, and Hahn has been booked. There was obviously some incident off the ball. And Hahn's name goes into the book. McDowell. Thiessen. Rensenbrink again. And the whistle's gone. But Cothran knocking the ball away, wasting a bit of time. Exactly 15 minutes left. Anderlecht 3, West Ham United 2. Thiessen's kick. Hahn, a Bond. Van der Elf to Hahn. Offside. Tommy Taylor must have thought he was going to be punished for that slip. Then West Ham seemed to escape before giving away the penalty. Taylor was very unlucky, though, if the goal had been conceded in those circumstances. Although in the end, of course, the penalty came from that move. This is Bob. McDowell. Lama. Lascelles. West Ham are getting stretched to the back. They've got a problem again here. The ball not released quickly enough to Rensenbrink and played too long anyway. Goal kick. West Ham gambling a little bit and losing a bit of discipline, Dave Sexton, in defence.
Well, they've got to now because there's only 15 minutes to go, so they've got to start pushing up. They've tried to control the game all the time, but Anderlecht have just been relying on counter-attacks. So I'll be delighted if West Ham can get back in the game, which they can do, as Liverpool proved you can score three goals in the last 15 minutes.
Said with feeling, of course, with Queen's Park Rangers waiting for that result last night. Now Taylor. To Holland. Bond. Number 7, Holland. For Cothran. Rensenbrink. Hahn. Switching play to Lascelles. Good ball that was. The support arriving. And it's Rensenbrink. Play waved off. Taylor for West Ham. Van der Elf. Dox. Hahn. Lascelles. Rensenbrink. Brooking. Freed himself well. Holland. Coleman. Brooking to Patton. Oh, and Van Vince has gone down for the sheer power of Patton's shot. Upright again as he realised he was playing players onside. Taking the pressure off Anderlecht. A wasted ball. And these seconds precious now to West Ham. Thiessen to Hahn. Thiessen. Oh, and Dox collided with the referee. Brooking for West Ham. Tremendous try by Taylor. The goalkeeper right behind it. Lascelles. Play bogged down a little bit. McDowell. Brooking. Taylor. Robson. Brooking. Robbed by Hahn. Anderlecht again looking for the counter-attack. Ressel. Rensenbrink. Almost got through to Van der Elst. Holland. Jennings. Holland again. Square is Patton. Number 8. Brooking on the left touchline. Jennings almost got there, but the defender was in first. Well, I must have touched Jennings because a goal kick has been given. That's Taylor. Bruce. Bond. Off. Rensenbrink. Ressel. Got a lot of speed. Rensenbrink just stopped by Taylor. Rensenbrink again. What a dummy. For Cochran. And this time it's Coleman for West Ham. And West Ham United walking a tightrope then. Now Taylor. 10 minutes left. Anderlecht 3, West Ham United 2 in the European Cup Winners' Final. And Jennings might well have made it 3 each. Thiessen. Lummer. Van der Elst. Chip forward for Ressel. Taylor for West Ham. Now Patton. Jennings. Break by Holland on the right, number 7. Obstruction was it? No. Thiessen. Docks. Hahn. Or rather, that's Rensenbrink. Was Bruce arriving from the back. Tommy Taylor. Patton. Jennings. Did well to retain that. Holland. Robson. Brooking offside. Anderlecht taking rather too long with this kick. The cheers are Anderlecht, Anderlecht. Hahn. Ressel, Hahn again. Ressel. Hahn. Ressel. Hahn again. These two Dutchmen playing a game of their own. Bad ball finally, though. Ball out. And it's a West Ham throw. Referee indicating that time will be added for time wasting. Patton. McDowell. Thiessen, Rensenbrink. Bruce. Dressel. Van der Elst. Fine save by Day, who gave him very little to shoot at. He was on the edge of the 6-yard box, but what a shot by Van der Elst. Tremendous power and direction. Now Rensenbrink. Oh, that was a foul, but Taylor survived. But Coatran was the offender, and the referee rightly playing the advantage. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes for West Ham to equalise and possibly take this game to extra time. 3-2 down against Anderlecht. Patton. Laid off by Robson. Brooking. Jennings. Jennings penalised. Holland. And already these Belgian supporters are celebrating. Less than 4 minutes to go. Rensenbrink. Pushing by Holland. Thiessen waiting to take the kick. Bonds. Brooking. Foul by Hahn, surely. Now Taylor. Coleman. West Ham really pushing players forward. It's all or nothing now. They've just got to gamble. 3 minutes. 3-2 down to Anderlecht. Coleman for West Ham. Brooking. Holland in. Alvan Bin. Rensenbrink. Offside not given. Van der Elst. 4-2. West Ham's all-out attempt to attack was caught then when the ball was played through by Rensenbrink with the defence caught pushing forward and square. McDowell almost got back, but look how well Van der Elst kept his head and even had the goalkeeper on the ground to leave himself with an empty net. 4-2, Van der Elst second, and the cup now must surely go to Anderlecht with less than 2 minutes to go. Bruce, Rensenbrink, Coleman, Holland. On, Rensenbrink. Dressel, where he's been all night out on the right touchline. Coatran. Day to Brooking. Almost time. Bonds. Pat. Robson. Bonds up there driving still. What a captain he's been tonight. With the cause apparently lost, Bonds is still in there attacking. He's been a real tower defence and been significant too when he's come forward. Check with the linesman. Another check on the watch. And it hasn't gone, no. They thought it had. One or two photographers were already on the pitch. Holland. That is the end of this European Cup Winners' Cup final, with Anderlecht taking the trophy by 4 goals to 2. And what a second half this has been. Four goals in the second half. And the Belgians shown tremendous finishing power, especially through the little number 7, Van der Elf, who took both his goals so well. Dr. Frankie, the president of the European Union of Football Associations, waiting to make the trophy presentation. And so this Cup Winners' Cup, which has gone to Britain 5 times previously, Spurs, West Ham, Manchester City, Chelsea and Rangers, doesn't find a British home this time. But the Anderlecht players celebrating as they go to their packed bank of supporters around and behind the goal. They've attacked so well in this second half. Meanwhile, West Ham at the other end haven't forgotten their supporters and have gone to wave, but showing all their weariness now as players do in defeat, looking a little bit dejected. And the penalty was a real killer after they got back to 2-2, but I don't think most experts would disagree with the referee. Just a quick word as the players line up for the presentation from Dave Sexton.
Well, I feel really sorry for West Ham. After controlling the first half and dominating the first half, they then find themselves losing to 3 brilliantly taken goals from a counter-attacking side. Nevertheless, I think they've been a great credit to us, and it's been a really wonderful game. I've enjoyed it very much.
Van Bent, the captain, already played well over 30 times for his country. He's only 24. This is the man who started the season up front and came back in the semi-final because of injuries to play in the middle of the defence, and has done a good job. Anderlecht's first ever European trophy. They are the most successful club in Belgian football history. 16 league titles and 4 cup wins, and they're in the semi-final of the cup in a couple of weeks' time against the current league champions, Bruges. Bruges decide to take on Liverpool in the UEFA Cup final in a couple of weeks. West Ham players waiting to receive the Losers Award. Alongside them, Ron Greenwood, general manager now of West Ham, team managed by John Lyle, as Dr. Frankie of Italy waits to present the trophy. Really fine second half display by this Belgian side. Gilbert Van Bent, the captain. Jan Reuter, the goalkeeper, whose save from Tommy Taylor was really one of the vital points in this game. The cup passed along the team. Thiessen, the big left back. Harry Hahn, perhaps the player of the match. Rensenbrink. And the captain, Van Bent, goes along the line of officials. Reuter, the goalkeeper. Broos, the big centre-back. That's the manager just handed the trophy round. Hans Kroon, a Dutchman who retires at the end of the season. His place being taken over by the Belgian national team manager. come passed along the whole team as the West Ham players await their medal. And so sportingly now, Anderlecht stand back to applaud West Ham, and they're getting a good view of the trophy, the West Ham players, they go forward. But we may not be able to see them on this Eurovision transmission, which is now nearing its close. There they go through, receiving their losers' medals. So with the news that Anderlecht of Belgium have beaten West Ham in the European Cup Winners' Cup final by 4 goals to 2, it's good night from Brussels.
Well, disappointment for West Ham there, but I suppose a minor word of congratulation to Bobby and Laurie. You were right, but very disappointed about being right. But, Bob, you didn't feel that West Ham need have lost?
No, I don't think so. I think, like Dave Sexton says, they were good on the break, but I still think that our defences should be capable enough to be able to take that in the stride, really. Yeah. And a little bit of bad luck in as much as when the penalty for the 3rd goal was given, I thought it was a forward that was in a position to tackle when really I think a defender would have probably played it a lot differently.
As it's coming up now, was it a penalty?
Yeah, I think it was a penalty. He went down the forward and he was frightened to death to let him past. You know, he's not a defender, and he just left his foot there a little bit too long and allowed him to fall over it.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Laurie?
Yeah, I think looking at it again, he went in to chuck the ball and he didn't get it. And if his foot hadn't been there, the fella could have carried on running and got to the byline, which is a strong position. And he hooked his foot up a bit. It was a forward's tackle.
Yeah.
But on last Saturday when we were at Wembley, I said to my team before the game, look, whatever happens, don't let me have to say after the game, we normally play better than that. You know, try and play the way that's got you to the final.
Yeah.
But and I think John Lyle will have to say that tomorrow, that his team normally do better. And he'll be so sick because I think they're a better team than they showed tonight. The injury disorganised them, didn't it?
It did. Frank Lampard being away, so many of the Belgian attacks in the second half came up that right wing.
Yeah. Plus the fact that the number 7 never came over the halfway line in the first half.
Van der Elst.
And he got a passport at half-time, and he suddenly started developing, and he was a dangerous player.
He not only had a passport, but he flew with it and scored this goal. This was the final goal, the killer goal.
But look who knocked it through old Rensenbrink, and this fella started from deep, and he caught them flat, because they were looking at the ball and nodded at him, and now look at this, he checks there, and he's got them all wrong-footed, and he dummies, checks, he sends a goalkeeper, and he says, pick that out. I mean, good composure, tremendous running in the first place, and then so composed in the box. He couldn't ask for more than that. In the first half, he was never a threat, was he?
No, he wasn't. He was playing more in the middle of the field, as they all were.
Yeah.
Bob, do you think they really planned that game, very briefly?
I don't think so. I mean, West Ham had so many chances that you can't say that the Anderlecht planned it. Not at all. You know, I mean, there was so much aerial domination by West Ham when they got the ball into the 18-yard box that they daren't play like that.
Bob, thanks very much anyway for those views. Disappointing night for West Ham, but just a reminder, there's football coming up your way on Saturday night when you can see International Match of the Day. Good night.